This is Claude Bailey, the marketing funnel coach here at 24/7 Online Marketing. I want to welcome you to our live webinar today. Is how to create an online course to recession-proof your business. All right, how many people are excited for this course today? Give me a hand clap, give me a thumbs up. I'm excited to be here, guys. I truly am. And I truly, guys, doing this live webinar, we're going to go for about an hour. And I'm really going to share with you guys why I believe we are at a pivotal moment right now. A pivotal moment right now to be able to take advantage actually of an upcoming recession here in our global economy. Now, you might not be believing me that we're going to go into a global recession, but guys, I'm going to share with you and show you why I believe that we're about to go into a global recession here in 2023. So, hey, I got a question for you guys right now. Answer if you are in the chat. How many people think that we're actually going to go into a global recession? Just type in yes or no. I want to know your thoughts on that. Now, while you guys are answering that chat, there's a couple of housekeeping rules I want to go over before we deep dive into the material today. First off, if you have a question and you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, just type in the letter Q, capital Q, in the comments, and then follow that letter Q with the semicolon, colon, and then obviously space, and then type in your question. All right. And the reason why I'm asking you to do this because I want to be able to distinguish the difference between a question and a comment when I filter. I can easily filter on the letter Q and my comments scroll over here, and then I can see what questions there are, and then I can actually answer those questions. Now, if you want to actually get a better experience, maybe also get, I'm going to I'm going to be giving away some cool resources for you as well, for those who stay to the end. Now, the only way you guys can actually get those resources is if you actually join me in my actual webinar room. The link to that room is in the post description here, and a couple of advantages you're going to have by doing that. One, when you're in the room, right, it's easier for you to actually ask a question. And so all you got to do, and it's easier for me to see the question. So all you got to do is just type your question in a Q&A tab that's there in the webinar room. Don't worry about typing the letter Q in the place, right? That makes it a little easier for you, and also makes it easier for me. Secondly, right, I'm going to give away a nice little resource guide for you guys, cheat sheet for you guys to use at the end of this webinar, and I'm going to give it to you right inside the webinar room. Therefore, it's so much easier for me because otherwise I got to develop a URL, I got to put the link in, put it in the comment section in the chat. It's going to scroll. You might not see it. Boom. All right, you missed it. So just make it real simple. Come join me in the webinar room, guys. It really is going to be a good experience for you. And also, I got some polls in there, some surveys we're going in the webinar room. And so it'll be a little bit more interactive in the webinar room than it will be actually here on Facebook or YouTube. So, but that said, whatever floats your boat, whatever you like prefer, fine with it. I'm just glad you're here. And so also, if you are watching the recorded version of this, feel free to still ask a question. You can also type in the letter Q, please, with semicolon and colon, and then type your question in, right? And I'll get back to you in the comments to answer your question. All right. So with that being said, I am so excited everyone's here, right? We're going to jump in right now and how to recession-proof your business so you don't have to worry about downsizing it, right? Headcount reductions, or just going into more debt, right? To stay afloat, okay? Now, how many people you guys know? Did you guys know that usually, right, when we go into recession, did you guys know that the last time we went into the Great Recession, right, back in 2008, there was about, was it 1.8 million businesses that closed their shop, right, during that 2-year period? 1.8 million businesses in the United States closed their shop. Did you guys know that? Right? Let me know if you knew that in the chat. Also, did you guys know that 17% of companies do not survive a recession? This is a study that was done by the Harvard Business Review, and they studied like close to approximately 5,000 companies 3 years before a recession, 3 years after recession, and they did this over multiple 3 different recession periods, right? And they found out that over 3 different recession periods, right, companies 17% of the companies that 17% of the companies that enter into recession do not come back out, do not survive. All right. So 17% of those guys close their shop during recession. All right. Now it might not seem a lot, but if you think about the Great Recession back in 2008, 1.8 million businesses closed their doors. That's a lot of businesses. So 17% of how many businesses are out there, and I didn't do the math, I didn't go look, I should have did that. But hey, if you guys did, you know how many businesses are out there, just give me the full number. What's 17% of the total amount of businesses out there in the United States that we have, right? I bet it's over 1 million. And so it's a lot. Okay. Also, recession hurts a lot of companies in many different ways. So even if you survive a recession, here's the deal. Your growth after the recession for 80% of the companies does not match the growth going into the recession. Does that make sense? So typically, so the study for the Harvard Business Review, what they ended up doing, where they studied 3 years before the recession, how the companies were growing, their profits and their sales, right? The growth rate before the recession. And then they studied 3 years after a recession was over, declared to be over by economists and governments, right? And 3 years after they studied their growth, their sales, their profits, all that good stuff. And they found out that 80% of those companies do not regain the growth rates they had before the recession. Before the recession. 80% of those guys never regain the growth that they had during the recession. Can you guys imagine that? So it's been 3 years, right? And you still have not regained what you lost at a 1 year or 2 year recession after 3 years, right? That's that's mind blowing for me, right? When I saw this statistics, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is real, right? Here's another great statistic though. So of all the businesses that they studied in Harvard Business Review, right? Only 9% of those guys not only survived and thrive, but they came out even stronger from the recession. And that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about. I believe I have an opportunity for you all to be a part of this 9% that come out of a recession stronger than you might have even gone into recession. All right. And I believe that the way for us to do that, and my bold promise to you guys, right, is that it's going to be through an online course. Right. But so here, let me prove that to you some more. All right. So some of you guys might be thinking, all right, are we currently in a recession, right? And so are we currently in a recession right now, Claude? And I was a question that I had, and I'm like, all right, let's go to Google and find out, right? And so according to Forbes, an article here by Forbes, right, we are currently not in a recession, right? Not quite yet. Now, you got some people say we might have been in a recession in the summer of 2022, but depending on how you define recession, is it significant? What's the significant decline in gross domestic product, right, that determines if you're in recession or not, right? And so people are debating on what that decline should look like, how much percentage decline. So anyway, so nutshell, Forbes saying no, we're not there yet. So are we going to go one in 2023, right? That's the question. Are we going to go into recession in 2023? Because we're at now, it's December 22nd. I'm doing this live webinar. And so we're basically only a few days away from being in January 1st of 2023. So will we go into recession 2023? Right. And so here's an article right here from theeconomist.com, just to highlight right off of Google. Right. And so it's saying in a short term, and the answer is grim. Much of the world, guys, will be in recession in 2023. In 2023, economist.com is saying that we're going to be in a recession in some form or fashion. It's going to be a real deep recession. I don't know if it's going to be extensive recession. It's going to be a long recession. I don't know. But we're going to see some form of recession in 2023. All right. So let's look at another article here. So here's another article from Forbes. Go back to Forbes, right? Will there be a recession in 2023? Well, Forbes, there's an article that they had posted that was back in November 1st of 2022. They're saying that a recession will begin late 2023 or early 2024. So that might give us a little bit more time to be prepared for it, right? Okay. And here's another article from Fortune just saying, hey, will the U.S. and Europe slide into recession in 2023? And they're saying the global economy remain weird in 2023. So we have three different articles saying, two articles are saying definitely in 2023. It depends on when it's going to happen. Either late 2023, it could be early 2024, right? So it's kind of an agreement. Something's going to happen in 2023. And then we have the third one here saying, hey, guys, economy's going to look real weird in 2023. They don't know exactly what to say what's going to happen, right? And so something's happening, guys. Something is mixing in this pot, right? And so something is going to be a decline. We see stock market declining right now in 2022, December, right? Those numbers are declining, right? So something's going on. Inflation's increasing, right? So that stuff is happening. So what is going on? What are we going to do, right? And so the question I had, right? Okay, well, naturally, what are some recession-proof type businesses that are out there, okay? And so national industries are recession-proof, according to this article that's on LegalZoom.com. I did a quick Google research. I said recession-proof businesses, and this article popped up, and you have healthcare, which makes a little bit of sense, right? Because that's one of your basic necessities is your health, food, shelter, water, clothing, right? And so that makes sense. Groceries and related business makes sense, part of necessities. That's going to go up because you're not going to go out to eat as much. Tax and accounting services. Hey, man, help me manage my money. Makes sense. Help me get more money back from my tax return. Makes a lot of sense. Supply chain delivery businesses. All right, maybe you can't travel as far, so you're going to have stuff shipped to you. All right. Daycare and childcare service. If you're working, you still need that. It's a necessity. You want to watch your children. All right. Automotive maintenance and businesses. All right. You still got to get to work if you're working. And then maybe you need to go somewhere if you go find a job, right? And so you got to keep your maintenance up on your car. And then home hardware stores, right? Hey, do-it-yourselfers. A lot more people are going to become do-it-yourselfers during recession to save money, go figure out how to do it themselves. They go to hardware store, they go buy the tools and equipment that they need, supplies they need to do that, right? So that's from LegalZoom. Okay, now here's another article here from Forbes once again, right? Who doesn't love Forbes, man? Forbes is a pretty authoritative site, right? So they have a lot of subject matter experts, right? They write articles for them. And so here's what they're saying. They're saying a list of recession-proof ideas for businesses are home improvement, contracting. So if you're doing some home improvements, seems to be sometimes that really booms. Now, I definitely saw that, experienced that in 2020 when we had the pandemic. Don't know if we was quite in a recession in 2020, but we had sent everybody home. And so I saw a lot of people that still had jobs. Well, I'm home. I might as well get stuff fixed and done around the house, right? So that was booming. Online reselling makes sense. Cleaning services, don't quite understand that one, but we'll just take for that. Childcare, all right, still the same as online freelance. If you lose your job or you want to make some extra money, you go freelance work. Understand that. Online teaching is another one, and then accounting, bookkeeping, and financial planning, and then car repairs. We kind of covered those last two. But online teaching, guys, that's the one I really want to stands out to me. Online teaching, which seems like, what is this, right? Because I hear some things about online courses and stuff like that. So what is online teaching? So Forbes saying online teaching is a recession-proof idea. All right. So let's look at what this deep dive into the article a little bit more. So in this Forbes article, which says listed online teaching, right? They said that the e-learning industry is projected to grow from 197 billion in 2020 to 840 billion by 2030. By 2030, right, we should be hitting $840 billion in the e-learning industry, right? So if you take do the numbers, 197 billion to 840 billion, that's what, roughly almost 4 times, right? Almost a 400% increase in growth. That is huge. That is huge. That is tremendously huge, guys. You guys believe me or not? Is that huge to you? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you guys think that's huge. I think it's huge. Okay. So what does that look like, right? So that's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of growth. So if we look at some articles, so what is the actual going to be growth rate of the e-learning industry, right? Here's an article that I found, Global Newswire. They're saying that we're looking at a 14.6% compound annual growth rate. 14.6% compound annual. So every year we're looking at the e-learning industry going to grow by 14% between the time frame of 2019 into it says here the 2020 base years at 2020, between time frame of 2020 to 2026, right? 14.6% growth rate, right? They're saying by 2026 we should be at 374 billion. Now, don't know if all the numbers are legitimate, but hey, this tells me that the growth is not going to be linear. The growth is going to be exponential, right? So it's going to kind of be linear, then also it's going to just skyrocket, right? So it's going to be something that we really need to jump into. Get in early, guys, get in early. So that's why I'm just trying to show you. Here's another article, looks very similar. They're going to say, hey, look, we're just looking at a 20% growth rate, right? We're looking at a 20% growth rate here, right? They're saying we're looking at 20% growth rate appear between 2022 between 2028, 20% compound annual growth rate. All right. Wow. Over the 6 years, 20% growth. Now, dude, if you hit 20% in the stock market, you're like, yes, baby. Yes. I'm making that cash. Look at this. What's stock market doing right now? It's going down 20%. Over 6 years, man. It's like over 6 years, it's expected to grow 20% each year. Each year, 20% growth. Would you love to have 20% growth each year? I would. Almost guaranteed. This is what I'm telling you, man. The rate of recession-proof your business is going to be through online courses. Are you guys seeing this? If this makes sense to you, let me know, right? And that's from GM Insights, right? Here's another article. E-learning market size surpassed 215 billion in 2021, right? Same thing. They're saying 20% growth. 20% growth, all right? So anywhere between 14 to, and that depends on the time period, right, that you're looking at, right? That number's going to change. But guys, we're looking at double-digit growth here in the e-learning industry. Double digits, right? And this is taking into account that we might be in recession, right? Think about it. 2020, right? What did we do in 2020? Everyone went home. What happened? Boom, online reselling. Bloom. Zoom blossomed, right? Everyone starts doing online training, online, webinars, WebExes, right? Virtual meetings, right? It's all there. We are primed. We are ready. People are now ready globally to do stuff online. That's why we're ready to do this. And plus it's companies found out that it's cheaper, right? Consumers found out that it's cheaper and just as good a way to learn something, convenience your own home, and have to travel, right? It's good. It's good. All right. So guys, so once again, I truly believe, right? My promise to you, like I told you guys at the beginning of this so far, I truly believe that we are in a prime opportunity, right now, that an online course is the vehicle that's going to be able to grow your business during a recession and after a recession, right? It's going to be able to grow your business. I truly believe that, right? It's going to be the main thing, the one thing I could think of that every business, no matter where you are, can use and take advantage of. Okay. It's the one thing. Right. So by the end of this webinar, guys, what I want to make sure you guys understand by the end of this webinar, I want to give you this, I want you guys to learn the 5 steps or the 5 secrets that I believe is going to help you create a profitable online course so you can recession proof your business, right? So that you become part of the we can become part of the 9% that come out of recession stronger than ever, right? And those 9% that come out of recession stronger than ever, they don't just come out strong. They beat their competition by 10%, right? By at least 10% according to the Harvard Business Review. Can you imagine that beating your competition by 10%? Right? It's almost like lapping your competition if you're in an auto race, right? It's like beating your customer, you're beating your opponent by 50 points, in a basketball, football game, or a soccer game. It's this huge, significant amount. 10% is huge, right? And I want to show you guys how to be part of that. All right. Now, guys, just because I know this is a lot of your time, you guys are here. You're going to spend about an hour with me. We got about another 40 minutes together here. Right. And so just to honor you and respect your time, I want to be able to give you guys this gift when you stay to the end. Right. I'm going to give you my resource cheat sheet guide that I mentioned earlier. Right. It's got 59 very, very resourceful links. Right. What I've done is have my team put together. Had my team say, go out there and act like you're trying to figure out how to put a course together on your own and do all the Google research and find the best resources out there and then categorize them, right? Based upon, certain, based upon these categories I got listed here, basics of online course, from beginning steps, launching the course, pre-selling the course, engaging the audience, creating lesson plans, blah, 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 right? Categorizing them, right? And then I want to be able to give that out to people that come to my webinar, right? And I want to basically save you a whole bunch of time and energy and effort, save you hours, weeks, months, however long it may be. You just have it all at one-stop shop, right? All the resources are there, all the links are there, and I'm going to show you that at towards the end. I'm going to show you what it looks like towards the end of the webinar. That sound good? All right. Now, if that sounds great, guys, here's what I'd like for you guys to do, right? I really want you guys to get out a notepad, some paper, a pencil, because I want to take you some notes. We're about to jump in time. I'm about to teach you guys and show you guys the 5 secrets, right, is going to be that you're going to need in order to create a profitable online course, right? So is everybody ready? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a hand clap. All right. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's jump in. All right. So secret number 1, how to create a crystal clear course goal. Now, this is not, most people might think, oh, okay, I got to create a goal for the course. No, you got to create a goal for yourself. This is what you want the course to do for you, right? And it has to be very, very clear what you want it to do, right? You need to have clarity, and it has to be quantifiable, right? Your goal, because if it's not a good goal. Okay. So how do we make a good crystal clear goal? Well, what we do is we use a method called SMART goals. How many people have heard of SMART goals? Raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up. Say something in chat. Say yes if you heard of the SMART goals before. All right. Okay. So write this down if you guys do not know about it. Right. SMART is an acronym, and each letter stands for something. So let's start with the letter S. S stands for specific. M stands for measurable. A stands for attainable, and R stands for relevant, and T stands for time. All right. So I have this great resource for you guys here that I want to share with you, and it kind of explains this whole SMART goals thing. So if you look at it here, right here, it's an article from Santa Clara University. I'm sorry you can't see it's underneath me, behind me, in the view here, but it's from Santa Clara University, and they put together this nice goal template. It's a beautiful template, man. It's the best thing I've seen out there on the internet doing my search, right? And it really explains you guys what the acronym stands for. And like I told you, smart, specific, measurable, attainable, right? Relevant, time bound, right? And it gives you how to really understand the goal of being specific, right? So if your goal needs to be specific, it has to be clear and has to be specific. It should answer these five W questions, right? The what, the why, the who, the where, the which, right? And then it should answer the measurable. It should gonna answer the question how much, how many, how will I know, right? Attainable should answer how can a goal be accomplished? Relevant should answer the question, does this seem worthwhile? Time should answer basically time. How long is it going to take me to get this done? When will I get it done? Right. So that's the smart goal way. Now, the cool thing about this template, and you guys can get a copy of this, right? When you join me in my webinar room. Not a problem. Or you can just go look for it on Santa Clara University. But they give you a nice fill in the blank goal statement right here that you can use. It's very nice. I'm not sure that's really clear, but I'll blow this up for you guys. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I made it too small. Trying to blow it up, I made it the size of a donut. Okay, let me do it. All right, hit the wrong button, messed me all up. Had it all set. I messed up. All right, there we go. Let's reset. There we go. Now we're better. Back at it. All right, so you can see. So let me just show you guys what I was about to show you. So the fill in the blank template, right? You start with I or accountable party, will, then an action word that you need to have an action word here, then the object of the goal by a certain time, right? For the purpose of relevancy, the reason is, right? So here's an example they give you. I will complete 3 reporting technical courses by June 3rd, 2018 in order to improve my knowledge, skills, and ability in creating, analyzing, and summarizing data. So if I'm gonna put together something off the cuff, right? A course, and I want to kind of get a smart goal around this, right? I want to say something like, I will create, right, an online course for, and I might be specific where my target audience might be, right? I'm going to create an online course, or I'm going to teach them, right? I'm going to create an online course on how to create an online course, right? By whatever date, February 1st, 2023, for the purpose of showing people how to recession-proof their business, and so they can grow their business and pay for their expenses, right? Boom. Now, what was that? Grow, measure, as expenses are measurable, right? Um, we also want to say, so that's a symbol I, it means specific accountable goals, right? Time frame, February 1st. So you see I'm hitting all the things of a SMART goal there. All right. So that's just how you set this up. So guys, if you want this resource, it's there, or you can go to Santa Clara University and get it that way too as well. All right. So any questions so far? Any questions? All right. Remember, if you have any questions, type in the letter Q in the comments, and that way I can quickly see it. Otherwise, we will continue to move forward. All right. So now the second secret is creating the perfect topic. Now, this is pretty simple to do, but there's 3 things you got to keep in mind here. One, in order to create the perfect topic, is that you want to have something you want to have passion around it. 2, you want to have some knowledge about it, and 3, you want to make sure it's in demand. Okay, you want to make sure that it's in demand. So, how do you determine if you have a passion about something? Right. Well, there's some questions that we can ask and answer. 1, what do I love doing? 2, what do I love sharing with other people? Okay. 3, what do other people go to me for? Right. 5, what do I look forward to doing in my life? Right. And then 5 right here, actually, what do I wish other people cared more about? Right. So you answer those 5 questions. And when you answer those 5 questions, right, hopefully you see a theme, should be a common theme, and that's what you're passionate about. Okay. So then we got to figure out, okay, what knowledge you have, right? Hopefully hopefully our knowledge matches up with our passion. This would be perfect. storm, right? So what am I trained to do or have a lot of experience doing, right? You might have a degree in it, you might have some formal education in it, right? You might have been apprenticed in something, right? You might have a lot of experience doing something, right? What is that? What skills have I developed over, my lifetime here? What skills have I developed that are key skills, right? And what skills do I already teach others, right? You might be teaching other people how to do stuff, right? What is it? What is that? So hopefully, right, you have a common theme around that as well. And you can match your knowledge with your passion. And then you got almost a perfect topic. But one thing we have to do now is determine the demand for that topic. And how we determine the demand for that topic, your potential topic, is that I'll like to see if are there any courses already out there on the topic, right? So we can easily do that, right? There's a website that we can go search for topics. Always go to Google, but we can go to a website called Udemy, and I think that's how you pronounce it. So hopefully I ain't mispronouncing it, right? And so we can go there, and I'm gonna show you what this looks like here, and then we'll go check it out, and I'll show you by example what it's going to do for us. So, you're gonna see me type. All right, here we are in Udemy, right? And so you just go into the categories. You can type in the category. So if anyone has a category or topic that they want to talk to you about, all right. Does anyone have a topic that they'd like to talk to you about in the chat? Let me know in the chat. All right. Let's see. Anybody in the chat? All right. All right, cool. Nothing in the chat yet. So I'll just make up a topic for us, right? And we'll go with cooking, right? We'll just say cooking. So you just type in cooking, and then you can see, oh, look, we got some cooking. We got some courses out there, right? We got cooking 101 kitchen basics advanced. It was $100. They dropped it down. Maybe Christmas special to $19.99. Essential cooking skills, $16.99. It was $45. This is $35 Indian cooking, right? And so you can see these prices are dropping, right? It's funny because actually I did the same live webinar and this little tidbit, look at it yesterday, and these prices were higher, right? They're like at $100, and now they're coming down. People are dropping these courses, right? Or maybe they're just showing them different courses, but they're all dropping here. Here's $100 one has been down to $19.99, right? And so the cool thing about this one was $19.99. He dropped this down to $17.99, a couple dollars, right? And so you can see what people are doing. You can see what price ranges they're at, right? Another cool part is you can kind of by the number of reviews, you can see how many people are taking this course. At least a minimum amount of people are taking this course, right? Based upon the number of reviews and the star rating. And so if you ever want to figure out, and we can go on this later, I'm gonna give you a little tidbit later, right? If you ever wanted to figure out like what should I be teaching about? Like, why do these people think this is such a great course, right? You can look to see and get their course outline, a course syllabus if they have one here. You can do a little bit of research on it, right? Just find a description, right? You can kind of find out what people are teaching and wonder and look at the reviews. It's all kind of reconnaissance, right? And we can go through this and understand it and see what people like about it, and you can make sure that type of information is going to be in your course as well. So does that make sense, guys? So this is one resource to find if there's demand. Obviously, there's the demand, right? There's courses out there, and people are buying it, and people are jumping into it. Okay, so that is pretty cool. All right, now another thing I like to do, right? I like to go to see if there's actually paid ads. So let's just go to google.com. You can always type in your search bar, but I want you guys to see what I'm typing, right? So let's do the same thing. Let's type in cooking. We're gonna do online cooking courses. And obviously, I've been doing this for a while, so it always pops up the top. So let's see what we have here. I'm gonna blow this up a little bit for you guys. Oops. It wants to know my location, so it can give me some more local results. All right. So as we can see, I typed in online cooking courses, right? You can see that at the top here. Um, you can see the results, right? You can see here we have ads, right? Here's an ad right here. This one's an ad. This is an ad, right? Here's an ad. Here's an ad. So people are paying to advertise to get people to come to the course, right? Here's another ad. That's 4 ads. 1, 2, 3. There's 4 ads in a row, right? And then we go into the organic listing stuff, right? So you can see the ads are there, right, guys? So the ads are there. So, and then you go scroll down some more, and then there's some more ads down towards the bottom. Here's another ad, right? And then you go to the next page. But there are a significant amount of ads here. There's 5 ads on the first page. which tells me, and if I want to go to the second page, if this ads on the second page too, right? There's ads on the second page. You can see the ads there. Look at all these ads, guys. So this tells me that obviously this is demand for people to learn how to do online cooking courses because there's online cooking classes, classes all over the place here for this cooking. So there's demand for this, right? So that's another way you can determine if there's demand. Now, another thing I like to do is also determine what is the monthly Google search volume, right? Because I see there's ads, but I'm just curious, what's the monthly Google search volume, right? So I kind of want to know what the search volume is because I know based upon my goal previously, what I want to know is I particularly my goals probably have some sort of financial goal to it, And I like I said, it might be to cover some expenses and whatever those expenses are. I know how much expenses are. So I want to know how much I need to charge, right? Based upon the volume, how many people I think I can get based upon the amount of volume. So I want to know the volume. Is the volume going to be big enough for me to have a course, right? That I'm going to be able to charge people for and meet my goal, right? My smart goal that is it in the secret number one. So what do we do? So you can go, there's a couple things ways you can do this. One way you can go is use Google's tool, Google Keyword Planner. Don't say it too fast, tongue twister. You can go to Google Keyword Planner, and here it is right here, and I'm going to share this with you, right? You just go. You have to get an AdWords account in order to be able to use the tool. Now, it used to be years ago, it used to be free, and I need an AdWords account, but I need an AdWords account, but it's no big deal. Still, AdWords account is still free. And so you click on discover new keywords, and for this particular case, right, we're going to put in um, cooking courses, right? And we'll hit enter, and then we're gonna hit get results. So now Google's gonna go, and Google's gonna tell us, right? They're gonna tell us based upon this, right? They're gonna give us a chart, they're gonna give us some numbers, and you can see here, right? When you advertise your keyword planner tool, right? You're gonna get cooking courses. There's 74,000 people that are searching for cooking courses, right? And then there's a cool thing about this, right? You can see the monthly searches since September 2022 has increased 49%. So this is trending upwards, man. People are wanting to learn how to cook. It's trending upwards right now. Okay. What else do you see here? So 3 month average, 49%, you can see it right there. Year over year change plus 122%. Right. This keyword cooking courses has low competition, right? And you can see the keywords bid range, right? So if you're doing pay-per-click advertising, remember you see this paid advertising, people are paying anywhere between 50 cents to $3, right? So you can kind of see that right there. It's very useful information for you guys here, right? And then they give you some list of other keywords, right? And so baking classes near me, right? There was a downward trend and then there's an upward trend, right? You can see that medium, chef courses, right? You can see the volumes here, right? And then cookery classes near me. There's 90,000. So you can kind of see there's a lot of volume here. 74,000 is good volume. So if you want a cooking course, you can definitely do that. Now, I'm just curious. I want to change the keyword. And I want to change the keyword. And you can actually add another one. But I'm going to say online cooking course, right? Because we want to do a virtual potentially. So you do an online cooking course. What do we got? So online cooking course. Look at that. It dropped. Look at that. It's 480, right? 480. But let's look at the trend. 50% 3 month change 50%, right? Year over year change minus 19%. Competition is very high. Don't get scared of competition now. When you see that, don't get scared, right? There's value there. You wouldn't be a lot of competition and people are making money doing it. So and you can see here the bid range between $2 and $9, right? And so this was a little more competitive, right? Because there's more competition out there. That's why the cost to advertise is more, right? But you can see that there as well. So here's another tool that I kind of want to share with you guys as well. Let me pull this one up. I forgot to pull it up. So you don't have to see me log in. It's a tool from Neil Patel called Uber Suggest, another keyword search tool, right? And I like to use this tool too as well. It's a great tool. So we go back, I'm in. So if we were to do the same thing, right, and I would type in cooking course, and we search in the United States, and we see that they're saying the volume is 33,100, high, right? That's high volume. right? And so it color codes things for you. High, green means good, right? In this case for volume. SEO difficulty, 70, paid difficulty, 20. It's pretty easy. So they're saying the average cost per click is 348. Now this is probably based upon all the keywords that are related to cooking courses. So they probably take the average of those. All right. And they give you a list of backlinks, not a list, but they give you a list of keyword ideas, sorry, down here, and you can see that they're, different cost per click values, right? So that's kind of probably how they're averaging out to 348. Um, Another cool thing about why I like using this too, is you got the mobile versus desktop views, right? Usage. So 23, almost 24,000 people of the 33,000 use the desktop when they do this keyword search, right? And then the other portion is mobile users. Another good thing we want to look at here is, okay, how many people are actually clicking on paid ads versus SEO ads versus not clicking at all, right? They do the searches, right? And it's telling us that 22,000 people click on SEO organic listings, not paid advertising, right? And then you look, there's no one clicking on paid advertising. So we got the other 11,000 don't click on any results at all. I don't know why they do that, right? So it's maybe because it's a pretty broad um 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 keyword, sorry. So let's say we put an online cooking course, right? And you see the search value went down to 480, right? The price went up to 530, right? And then you can see here, um, no one clicks on paid ads, looks like it's all SEO stuff that people click on, right? So that's good valuable information. If we would go back to the Google AdWords, right? What did they say? Volume is 480, right? And so it kind of matches the volume. The price is in between $1.92 and 840, so that kind of adds up to makes sense there as well. Just it's funny though when you go back. So you use this data, with an estimating what the trends are going to look like for you, right? That's how you do it. That's how you use the data. Um, Sometimes not absolute, but you want to get a trend, you want to get projections, right? And so this is good data kind of show projections, right? So this is very interesting, right? So if we go back to cooking course, we see 74,000, right? And if I went to go back to Uber Suggest, I want to do cooking course again, and it's telling me 33,000. So I don't know, maybe it needs to be updated. I'm not sure how often they update the keyword data, but it's showing stagnant right here. But if we go back to Google Analytics, right? It shows you the volume once again, and it's telling you mobile versus total. And so um, the difference would be desktop more than likely, right? And so you can see here too, if we go to charts, right? I'm gonna click on charts. You got breakdown by platform. So this is another cool thing that I like about this as well, right? You got breakdown by platform. So when you have a Google AdWords account, they give you more of this data and when you're active user, right? Your account's up to date. You can see right here, you got 68% on mobile, tablet 1.8%, desktop 29.4%, right? So this data is showing us different than what um Uber Suggest was saying us, right? So which one is mobile really more of a search on this one, or is it really desktop, right? So, like again, I like to use both tools, right? To kind of give a picture. I don't like just use one tool because I don't know that one tool could be outdated or whatnot. But this can kind of give you a picture of what the search volume looks like, right? And then another cool thing is, hey, breakdown by location. I like this feature as well, right? So you see a lot of people within the United States, right, are going to be in California is a major player looking for cooking. So it's some demographics data here, and so which leads us into our next secret. But before we jump over to the next secret, guys, does anyone have any questions about what we're talking about right here on picking the perfect topic? All right, so let's talk about secret number 3 was targeting your perfect avatar. All right. So I kind of already started leading into this secret, right? With the research we're doing on Google and Google AdWords tool and also with Uber Suggest. Right. And so we can see here, if we go back to the Google AdWords tool, right, we can kind of see, okay, where the people searching from, what type of um device are they using, right, to search for that, right? And so that's what Google gives you up front, right? So Google gives you that data through the chart analysis right there. So you can kind of have that data, right? So that's all done for free. So if we would go over to Uber Suggest again, right? And one thing I didn't show you here with Uber Suggest is if we look at this and we scroll down, right, and they got mobile versus desktop, right? Again, all right. And then we scroll down, look right here. It gives us the age range of the searchers, right? And so you can see right here, and Uber Suggest is free, right? You can get this for free. I think the free account, it just limits on the amount of searches you can do per month or per week. But you can see here that 100% of those that search for cooking courses are between the age of 35 to 44, right? That's vital information, right? So when we're looking at crafting our perfect avatar, right? There's some questions that we naturally want to ask ourselves, like what's the occupation? Where are they located, right? And so you can see where they're located with using Google Analytics tool, right? We can also use something called Google Trends and type in a keyword to see where most of the people are searching for that keyword, where they're located. What is their age range, right? We just use Uber Suggest. We kind of see their age range of searches. Now I know the age range. What is their gender, right? And a lot of these paid advertising tools, right? They give you this information. Now you got to take it with a grain of salt. You don't know exactly if it's accurate or not, right? Because I don't know exactly how to get the information. But over time, over population, they're probably able to, accumulate data from different resources, kind of, hone in on what that age group range, what the age group range is, right? What is their average salary? What is their location, right? What is their marital status? And some of this information is hard for advertisers to provide because of the privacy policies, right? We know Facebook just went through one, so it's hard for them to provide some of this information. What books do they read is another one that we can go, information we can look at. What blogs do they go to? Um, who did they look up? Who did they look? I mean, who did they look up to? Yep. So who did they look up to? I know I'm going through this pretty fast, guys, but once again, one of the things, if you join me in the webinar room, I also give you guys a copy, and I forgot to mention that, I also give you a copy of my PowerPoint slide deck here for you. What are their goals and aspirations? What are their current problems and challenges? What course have they bought before, right, and tried? And then what are the pros and cons of those courses that they bought before, right? So that's a lot of information. Now remember this last part there. What are the courses that they bought before? Right. You can go to Udemy and see what kind of courses people are buying. Right. And go look at that. And you can see the pros and cons. Read the reviews. What people say they liked about it. What people say they didn't like about it. Right. So there's a lot of information you can gather from different places to get these questions answered. Okay. So do we have any questions about how to pick your perfect avatar? Let me know right now in the chat, guys. All right. Are you guys enjoying this? Let me know if you're enjoying this so far, right? We're about to go into secret number 4 and the number 5, right? But let me know if you guys are actually enjoying this. Let me know. Since shout out in the chat, guys. I appreciate the feedback. All right, cool. So let's keep moving. Let's go on to secret number 4: how to create an engaging course. All right, now this is very powerful. Now, we're not creating the course. We're not actually creating the course. We're actually creating an outline for the course. If I want to say what a lesson plan is, right? A lesson plan is creating a nice little outline, and some things that you want to include in that outline of your lesson plan, you want to create what the learning objective is, right? Overall, like high level, what's the learning objective? I want to take my client from point A to point B, right? That's your learning objective, all right? And then you're going to break down each step to go from point A to point B. And how many steps you're going to break that down in is going to be, what I like to call, we're going to jump down here to sequencing, right? So what's the sequence? What's going to be the sequence from going from A to B, right? And then each step is going to have a sequence, right? To complete that step, right? So what are you going to be sequences, right? Um, but let me skip back up to the top. So learning timeline is another one. How long is your course going to be, right? So if you once you lay out your outline, you figure out how long your overall course is going to be, right? And each step, you figure out how long you want each step to be, right? And there's some good trends out there, right? It's all your personal preference, but I believe that most people have a very short attention span, and I believe to make a course more engaging and more fun, and make the reader, the user, the customer, the client, the student, right, to keep them motivated. Having like a video or a course content is going to take them an hour to go through. It's going to be tough with all today's distractions. If they could be married with kids and family, it could be working. So if you can break down like individual lectures or segments that only takes them maybe 10 to 15 minutes to go through to accomplish, and maybe if there's any homework something need to be done after that, maybe another 10, 15, like 30 minutes, that should be the length. That's like prime, right? Because they can get it, they can get momentum. Okay, I can set aside 30 minutes. I accomplished something today. Even though it might be one step, I accomplished something today. I can take the next, I can go tomorrow and do the next step, right? Or I can go, another 2 hours later and do the next step, right? And so they can kind of break it down. You give them like 2 hours worth of sit down lecture. No one wants to sit in a lecture for 2 hours, right? No one wants to watch a video for 2 hours unless it's highly entertaining, like it's a great movie, right? Even movies are now pushing 3 hours. You're like, man, that's a 3 hour movie. Whew. Do I really watch a 3 hour movie? I had to think about this one. I need to be a rainy day and I'm totally bored, right? You might skip that movie, you know it's 3 hours. But if it's like 2 hours, boom, entertaining, oh yeah, perfect, right? Lectures, lessons, classes, you gotta keep them kind of short, right? Keep it moving, engaging, all right? Learning activities. One thing you gotta talk about, what kind of activities you're gonna incorporate into your learning style to help them learn the material that you're giving them, right? What kind of interaction are you gonna present or bring into your learning style virtually, right? You got to think about the senses that they're gonna be using, right? Think about all of our senses that we have, right? We got hearing, sight, touch, smell, feel, right? All those senses that we use, right? And so you got to think about how you can incorporate the usage of all those senses to help their learning. Now, obviously, if you're doing something virtual, it's gonna be hard for smell, but you can definitely do audible and hearing, right? You can also definitely doing touch. A lot of times people will do, give out workbooks and worksheets. They can download it, print it out, and they can write stuff, right? That's movement and that's touch, right? Tony Robbins talks about engaging in your learning. The studies have shown, right, that when people move around, they seem to learn more and comprehend and actually retain what they're learning, right? When they move. So maybe you tell people, stand up, everybody stand up and let's repeat after me, right? And you jump up and down or something like that and have them do that as you teach them something or have them memorize something, right? And so how are you going to incorporate that stuff to make the learning engagement fun, right? And then we talked about sequence already, and then learning assessment, right? Guys, if you're really going to try to teach someone something, right, you want to make sure they learn it and make sure they comprehend it so they feel confident, not only that they feel confident using what you taught them and going forward, but also that you feel confident that you did a good job in teaching them, right? And so the way to do that is through a learning experiment. It doesn't have to be some formal, college exam, right? It just needs to be some sort of way to survey and get an assessment of what if they're learning the material, right? And one easy way is to use polls and surveys, right? In your education, in your activity, in your learning. Hey, I just went over this step. Hey, answer this question for me real quick. What's the A versus B? What's the right answer? And then you just do a quick poll, right? And see what the answer is. If everyone gets the answer wrong, then man, I ain't doing a good job. Then maybe not doing a good job at teaching the course, right? And it's on you to get. All right, I need to figure out why you guys not getting this. If you got 70% of the people that figured it out, I got it right, and the other 30% didn't, then you know that you're probably doing a decent job of teaching the course. It's just that you just 30%, you got to figure out another way, and you got to maybe probe them to ask better questions, or you have the community help them answer their questions, and that's why you got involvement in the community. Okay, so definitely have an assessment, let you know how you're doing, right? And it also leads into our next one, which is how you're going to close this out. How you going to close out your lesson, right? So you're going to close it out with homework. You're going to close it out with, thank you for listening to this lesson. How you can close it out so they can just have closure to that step so they can move forward. Okay. All right. So that's how you put together a perfect lesson plan, right? An engaging lesson plan. That's the outline that you didn't have. And remember, I showed you guys Udemy, right? You can kind of use other people's courses that figure out what content is good and what people reviews, not only courses, but also books, right? Go through books, go to Amazon, look at table of contents of great books, bestsellers in your topic, right? In your niche, and see what people said great about those books and kind of incorporate that in your courses, right? And so there's a whole bunch of resources out there for you guys to go through and how you can come and develop a great course. Just take some time and research. Now, if no questions, we're going to move on to the last secret, right? It's going to be how to pre-sell your course. The whole point of pre-selling your course, guys, this is where the money hits the road. This is where we find out that what we're going to teach is actually going to be profitable and bring in and reach our goal, right? I do not want you guys to put together, after you put together a lesson plan, I do not want you guys to start creating a content, right, to distribute. I want you guys to find out if people are actually going to buy it. I need us to find out, right? If we truly have a demand, if we have our marketing message right, that people are going to want to buy our course. So we're going to need to pre-sell our course, right? And all we're really going to do is we're going to pitch our course to our perfect avatar, which we did in step number 3, right? Our target audience, right? And so Another thing, and while we're going to pitch is we're just going to pitch our lesson plan that we just created in a previous secret, right? Secret number 4, creating your engaging lesson plan. All we're going to do is pitch that. We're going to pitch the learning objective of each module of our lesson plan, right? And that's it. We might touch on how we're going to teach it. We might touch on some cool stuff. We got some fun stuff in there in the course. Touch on that. Sell the fun. Sell the engagement of the course. How it's different than any other course that they probably have gone through, and how or might go gone through in their life, and how this is going to be a engaging thing. It's going to be more than just a lecture, and you're going to be bored out of your mind. It's going to be great and fun and entertaining, right? So you want to sell that, all right? And so you haven't started the course yet, but you want to sell it. Now, how are you thinking? How can you actually pre-sell your course? Well, one easy way is if you have a large enough email list is use email. Send out an email list to your current customers and your leads, right? If you got over 1,000 leads and customers, right, in your database, send out an email and say, hey guys, I got a course starting on such and such a date. You interested in buying? You interested in joining me in this course, right? I'm looking for 30 people, right? I'm looking for 30 orders. And if I get 30 people to register for this course, I want to offer it on this date. If I don't get 30 people on this course, I'm going to refund the money and not have the course, right? I need 30 people at least to teach this course for me to be, fruitful and profitable, and to be fun, right? And so there's no problem with doing that. People will pay. People will pre-order a course, right? They're used to that. Just tell them up front, right? And it's gonna be live, so it's gonna be live fun. That's why, right? And so people go for it. And so you don't have to worry about if you don't have the course, you don't get enough people to meet your goal. Right? Remember step 1, secret number 1. We went over how to achieve your goal, right? So if you don't hit that mark of people you need to register for the course, then you can just refund their money, and everyone will be okay with that. No big deal. All right. Another method we can do, and if we don't have a big list, right? And if we do have a big list, you might want to do this, right? We can use paid advertising. That's why I showed you how much advertising you can kind of expect to pay on Google, right? To use paid advertising, and you take that paid traffic and you can send them to a webinar or a masterclass. Webinar, difference between a webinar and masterclass, a webinar is free, right? You're going to give them information about upfront to sell them something at the end. And then masterclass is where they basically pay to come into the class. You're going to actually teach them something, right? And so if you already know something you want to teach, you can teach a portion of your course, right? And have that be a masterclass, right? Or you can get leads, go to a webinar, and there's ways you can liquidate your ad costs and go into that more in detail, right? If you're worried about losing money on ads, if you can't sell your course, right? But you go to a webinar and you basically pitch your course in the webinar, right? You teach them a little bit and you pitch the course in the webinar. Kind of what I'm doing for you guys here today, actually, right? So I'm actually implementing what I'm telling you guys to do, right? And so, and that's how you actually start to pre-sell your course. All right. Do we have any questions so far on secret number 5, or any questions about any other secrets that we went over yet today? All right. Okay. If not, no more questions. Remember, if you guys have questions, you're watching the recorded version of this, you can still ask your questions. Put a Q in the comment section. Type your question after that. Now, I promise you guys, right? You stand at the end. We're now at the end of one of the 5 secrets for you guys, right? So I promise you that I'm going to share with you guys this resource for staying at the end of this webinar. And so I want to give you the Launch Your Online course. So I want to actually share with you. I want to show you what's inside of this. So let me pull it up. So we can see here, Launch Your Online course. What I have for you is, like I told you, I have a bunch of links in here, and I've broken them down into several categories, right? One of them is going to be the basics of an online course, right? If you want to understand the basics of an online course, I have the foundation, history type of stuff for you, right, in there. The second top category is creating a perfect topic, learning and outcomes, and course goals, right? How to set your course goals, how to create the perfect topic, right? We're going to talk about that. I'll give you a bunch of resource links for that as well. Engaging intended audience and pre-selling, right? A bunch of stuff there as well. A bunch of resource links for that, right? See, these guys are all the links that you end up finding on your own, but I'm just going to give it to you all in one document. Okay, building revenue from the beginning, all there, okay? Find the right platform, right? All resource links there. Planning the course content, resource links there. Creating lesson plans and courses, resource links there, right? And then how to launch your course. Finally, how to launch your course. So we talk about that as well. All right. So all the resources are there. It's yours for free. Join me in the webinar room and you get this for free. You can have all those resources, one-stop shop, save you time, hours, weeks, months, days, however long it's going to take you to do all this research for yourself, all consolidated in a site in one simple PDF document that's yours, and the links are clickable. All right. So that is that. And so what I want to share with you now is you're probably thinking, what's next? Well, at this point, guys, really, all I want to share with you. What's next? If you have any questions, you can ask any questions to me, right? If you're looking for a way, if you believe that you're on your desktop, you believe that this online course is a way to recession-proof your business, and you want a quicker and faster way of implementing this, right? Then it's the resource cheat sheet guide I have for you. Just reach out to me. I'm not going to try to say nothing big here today, right? Just reach out to me. Send me online, send me a DM or chat saying, hey, you want to reach out to me? I'll send you a link back, or you can go to my support desk at 247onlinemarketing.com. Click on the help link down there and type in, hey, I want to learn more about how I can implement an online course with you, Claude, and I'll reach back out to you and give you some options. All right. That's it, man. That's my selling for today. No hardcore selling here. I want to make sure I kept this within the hour, and I've done so. And so, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask those questions in the comment section. And I look forward to seeing you guys in another episode, man, or another webinar. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this webinar, feel free to share it and like it and share it with other folks that might benefit from it. And I look forward to seeing your comments in the comment section as well. All right. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Have a blessed day. And if I don't talk to you soon, have a Merry Christmas.